You know what's funny? Last night obviously took center stage because it was Sunday Night Baseball.
Yeah.
But how about the day before?
Yes.
The Tigers had to win Game 2 in order to have a chance to win the series. And after a disappointing, rare Game 1 of a series loss, they rebounded with a rare and probably an even more rare Saturday win. Shout out to them, and shout out to Casey Mize for pitching yet another gem. He's had himself a heck of a year. Maybe has even a sneaky all-star case. I don't think he'll make it, but he's been damn good for them. And also, Gleyber Torres, Zach McKinstry, Riley Green, and Kerry Carpenter, all with home runs. I was about to ask the question, but I don't think Carpenter has a realistic chance. Do we see Gleyber and Green, which we definitely will, and McKinstry at the All-Star game?
This is the crazy
fire
part.
Up chips. Chase would love that.
Yeah, we're talking about multiple people here, and it's not just those guys. There are other ones that we're gonna see have some type of a case to be considered, or to say, you know what, they're having an All-Star-like season. That's the crazy thing. I don't even know where you begin when you talk about who do you credit for this type of stuff. But looking at Saturday's game, it's awesome to see how they won this series. Yeah. They're showing you that the Tigers, they can win it pretty, they can win it gritty. It doesn't matter. Yeah, that was what I loved about the bookends of both days. And in each of those games, you still saw the Stars do what they do. So on Saturday's win, you had a whole lot more help. On Sunday's win, you had your stars. You had Carpenter, Green, Carpenter. You look at the day before, and you're going to see a bunch of people contributing. But I love the fact that we see Green go out there and still mash and still be the biggest bat in that lineup. Yeah. And then you're effectively with a guy like Casey Mize, who I'm hoping continues to get more and more comfortable, more and more understanding that he is that dude, and get beyond any aspects of like the little injuries and things like that. This Tigers team is set up for so much more, because they have it under control, not just the starting pitching, not just the batting, not just the bullpen, but A.J. Hinch is pulling every string masterfully right now. That's I like, and that's why I'm kind of like at a loss for words, because I'm trying to figure out who gets the most credit. What is it that's making this team this special right now? Like, that's the amazing part about this.
Everybody gets credit. I mean, this is a complete team. Tarek Skubal obviously gets a huge piece of the pie because he's following up a Cy Young season with an even better season. Riley Green has evolved from being an all-star to, in my opinion, a legit MVP candidate. You talk about Zach McKinstry, Javi Baez, Spencer Torkelson, way overshooting the expectations. You can give credit to Scott Harris for the Tommy Kahnle and Gleyber Torres signings, who I think both deserve to be all-stars. Obviously, A.J. Hinch deserves a lot of the credit for the way he mixes and matches the lineups and really doesn't usually let Carpenter or Colt Keith, for example, or Jahmai Jones hit against lefties or righties, respectively, plays the matchup game. There's more credit than you can even give, because this really is a complete team. And I think, and we talked about it before, because I think Zach McKinstry deserves a little bit of a glazing by himself. Zach McKinstry, man, might have a sneaky all-star case. I don't think he's going to get it, but just to give you a little bit of context, Zach McKinstry, in terms of position players, is second on the Tigers in wins above replacement. It's Riley Green and then Zach McKinstry. Zach McKinstry is second in the American League in triples, while also having an 807 OPS. Dude, if Zach McKinstry makes the All-Star game, that would be the most...
I'd get a Zach McKinstry All-Star jersey.
There we go. That would be perfect, because,
it's just a Tigers jersey at that point, isn't it? Like, they're just wearing the home jerseys.
I mean, but... Sure, but yeah, a Zach McKinstry jersey is enough, because obviously Chase and Zach McKinstry share an CMU alma matership, but there's so much credit that can be going around, because the most important thing to me is that Tarek Skubal managed to level up even more, and Riley Green managed to level up a ton, but so many guys are stepping up and playing roles. Hell, even in small sample sizes. Look at Wensiel Perez since he's been back. Look at what Jahmai Jones has done in this month, really being the lefty killer that was expected of Andy Ibanez, but he didn't really deliver. Oh, don't worry. We got some guy that nobody's ever heard of in the minors who's going to come up and have an 1,000 OPS in the month of June. They just play the game the right way, man. I love it.
Hey, they absolutely do, and I love the fact that it matters to them. Man, I'm looking at some of the quotes from Zach McKinstry as well, and obviously came very, very close to upsetting some big names. And I think that if those names were a little less of household names, we might be looking at All-Star Zach McKinstry. But he says, all the people that voted for me, I just wanted to say thanks. My wife was really trying to push it. A lot of friends were too. My agency did a great job pushing it out there. It was super cool to see all the fans show up and rally around me to try and get there. What I love about that, he gave credit to everybody else, except for the fact that when we look at his numbers, we're like, well, no, dog. You deserve the credit, Zach McKinstry. But he's sitting here talking about from his family to his business people to the fans to the organization getting behind him and pushing him to a place that was a shock to a lot of people. There were a lot of people who woke up and realized, like, whoa, he almost upset Bregman. And so it's pretty cool to see. I know he still has somewhat of a path to get there, and hopefully, this mojo that we see that's been following the Tigers around this whole season, hopefully that gives us a little bit more, sprinkle a little bit more of that dust on and see if the Tigers can get one more or two more All-Stars in there.
Yep, and Zach McKinstry also, for what it's worth, the Tigers aren't a team that steals a lot of bases, but Zach McKinstry does lead the team in steals with 10 by a wide margin. They really don't do a lot of running, but what they do is they run the bases really well. It seems like they take the first to third on a single at a high clip. They go second to home. They're just a team that does all of the fundamentals the right way, and that's one of the reasons why they're just they're a machine. That's what they are. They're basically they're hammerers. Like I said, they don't go on those super long winning streaks, but they win every freaking series.
Here's Dad with Tourette. So he does give more credit to somebody. So he says Hinch deserves 99.9% of the credit.
Well, that's just
idiotic. He is 100% of the engine moving this train.
There's no manager who's ever existed in the history of baseball that deserves 99.9% of the credit. Come on. Come on.
I see.
Again, I love AJ Hinch, but the way that people act like this would be a 20 games under 500 team if Hinch wasn't the manager drives me insane. He's a great manager, but come on.
But shout out to David Torres, man. He's been active in the chat this morning.
99.9%. That's absurd. Listen to what you have to say. Does he having a Cy Young pitcher that he can throw out there every 5 days, does that help? Or is it still 99%? Does having a guy like Riley Green you can put out there every single day and have him have an MVP caliber season, is that AJ Hinch's motivation or something? Give him the amount of credit that he deserves, which is a ton, but 99.9, and there's people that'll agree with this. Come on!
It's because AJ Hinch Phil Jackson Riley Green. That's why he's doing this now.
I'm sure it is. According to some.